What's up, guys? Episode 13 of the Midwest Angler Podcast. I'm Scott Sturman, and I'm joined, as always, by Matt Deitch. Matt, how we doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Perfect.
13 hat on for the 13th episode.
Episode 13.
Lucky number 13.
That's right. No, we're going to do something special tonight. Being that it's the 13th episode, we are going to be doing a 13 fishing giveaway. We are not in any way associated with 13 fishing, but we've got here a 24-inch 13 fishing Wicked Ice, or is it just Wicked? Wicked or Wicked Ice? Just Wicked.
Wicked Ice, yep.
Yep, Wicked Ice ultralight rod. And what we're going to be doing is when we post this episode on Facebook tomorrow morning, drop underneath of it in the comments, put your favorite outdoor picture on there, and you're off and running.
Yep, make sure you like it.
Yep.
Do all that.
Like it. You must like the page in order to be the winner. Yep. Like our Facebook page, and yeah, that's all you need to do to get yourself a brand new fishing rod.
A nice chance for it. A lot of time left to use it too yet this season.
Yep. And we'll also throw in a cold snap toothpick, as the beautiful Matt Deitch shows that one off.
Give Vanna White a run for her money.
That's right. So
got that, and then last but not least, one of these sweet Midwest Angler decals. Can only get them here. They're exclusives.
You ain't going to get them anywhere else. I can tell you that for free.
So make sure you go there, do all that stuff, get yourself entered into this. Kind of nice little prize package there for some lucky fan.
That's right. How was your weekend, Matt?
My weekend was okay. Not as good as yours.
Not as good as mine. Very few weekends are ever going to be as good as mine.
It sounds like it was a pretty special weekend, a great event that you were able to be a part of.
Yep. I took off Thursday morning for Rapid City, South Dakota, and got out there, got to fish hooked on Hardwater out there with Craig Euler, and lots of absolutely great fishermen out there. We Friday night we met up with our boys at the Club for Boys downtown Rapid City, and yeah, we had a lot of fun with them, ate supper, played some games, and then bright and early on Saturday morning we met them out on Deerfield Lake, and yeah, my kid caught 15 fish, including one nice rainbow trout. And
yeah, that was a nice rainbow trout that he caught.
Yeah, we started off, and right after I drilled my hole, and I was instantly marking fish, and it was like, ooh, this could be pretty good here. And yeah, I caught 2 perch and 1 rock bass right off the bat, and so I just kind of let it lay. Cholino was my boy's name. He came out, and we got into the shack, and yeah, I bet you 2 minutes later he had his first fish out, and yeah, I think he caught a total of 15. But later on, after 60 other people are out there with baits and whatnot, the fish were starting to get it a little bit figured out. So it was a really light bite. So I dropped my AquaView down there, and
nice.
Anything with technology, them kids are all over it. And once he could see the fish coming up to it and whatnot, we had a school of trout come in, and then he started saying, "Oh, all I want to do is catch a trout. All I want to do is catch a trout." And it's like, oh Lord, please just let this boy catch a trout. And yeah, right towards the end, rainbow came in, no hesitation, smoked it, and he was scared. He didn't know what to do, and I'm like, real, it can't do anything for you or do anything to you. He's underneath of there. But yeah, it was really cool teaching them different stuff about fishing. He had no clue we were on an actual frozen lake.
That is pretty crazy.
He didn't know that. He didn't understand that his hole connected to everyone else's holes. I had to explain to him, yeah, that fish we can drop it down the hole. It could swim over to your buddy's hole, and he could pull it out 2 minutes later. But yeah, when you're not used to something like that, when you see cars driving out on the ice, that's a lot for a 11-year-old kid to wrap their brain around. Like,
it's a lot for adults to wrap their. I mean, if you ever brought somebody out for the first time onto a lake and you start driving out there, they freak out a little
Oh
bit.
yeah, and the popping and
Yep.
everything of the ice. Is that cracking? Is that dangerous? But no, he did great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely something he's gonna remember for the rest of his life.
I,
But
I'm not gonna lie to you, Matt. I think I got more out of it than them boys did.
oh yeah, it's a good thing all around for everybody. Everybody involved. It's a absolute. It's probably one of the best events I, that I've ever heard of.
It is. It's the absolute coolest. I know Craig said he's got a lot of guys that want to come and do it every single year. I'm super fortunate that Craig decided to invite me, and yeah, I'll never forget it. He already told me that I didn't have a choice. Next year I'm a pro back out there,
Well, that's
so
good.
yeah,
And I'm sure you didn't have to twist your arm at all.
no,
No.
I had texted him and just said, "Hey, I'll help out next year again at any capacity," and he said, "You don't have a choice. You're coming back out as a pro."
What did I hear that he said? How much money has Hooked on Hardwater raised for
Ooh, I
the boys club out there? Wasn't it like how long has it been going? Do you know?
I believe that this was the 6th or 7th year.
And I thought I saw somewhere that it was like they've raised like $166,000,
I don't doubt that.
something
I
like
don't
that
doubt
for
that
the
one bit.
Boys and Girls Club out there.
Yeah, they didn't have a banquet this year, which, I know there's a lot of people that are really disappointed, and I don't think anyone's more disappointed than Craig himself. But, you know, it was just one of those deals. There was a lot of work, a lot of money that was spent on it, and they were coming out ahead, but it wasn't worth the work that was going into it. And,
Yeah.
if the juice ain't worth the squeeze, that's just the way it is. So,
So now tell us about like the whole event. You drove out there on Thursday morning
yep, I drove out there on Thursday morning. I got out
on
there.
terrible roads, like always. Like we say,
Yep.
you're 6 out. Well,
I couldn't
all the way
even
across the state of South Dakota.
I could not believe that we were even in the United States. They were so terrible. And I'm not throwing jabs at South Dakota snowplow drivers. I mean, it was
It's just
just
South
the way it
Dakota.
was. Exactly. There's nothing out there.
Interstate 90 on
Yep.
South Dakota.
But oh man, like I pulled over in Wyndham because, I'm pulling this 12-foot trailer with not a ton of weight in it, and it's just getting tossed around. And I mean, I thought I was going to die numerous times. And so finally I pulled over in Wyndham, or Kimball.
I was
Kimball
gonna say,
is
you're going wrong direction.
Wyndham.
Wyndham's
No,
north.
Wyndham.
You're
Kimball.
definitely off track then.
Kimball, South Dakota. I pulled over in Kimball, and yeah, whatever, blah, 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 regrouped, got going, and finally ran out of it somewhere around Wall, which was an absolute relief. But yeah, after that, smooth sailing, I got out there and I got to fish Center Lake with Oakley Campanen and Scott McInthune. And the fishing knowledge between those two is absolutely insane. Scott is a fish biologist for Minnesota DNR. Absolute genius, one of the smartest men I've ever met.
I've listened to him on a few like podcasts and things like that, and it seems, yeah, very knowledgeable guy.
Very knowledgeable. He knew the scientific terms for every single fish he would pull out, and I mean, just a great all-around dude. And Oakley is a spectacular person also. He is the Black Hills Whiz. Him and Craig Euler, that they're in a league of their own out there. And we went to Center Lake and Custer State Park, tried to catch tiger trout. They both caught a tiger trout. I could not get a tiger trout, but we caught plenty of rainbow trout. It was a great evening out on the ice. We were basically the only people out there. There was one other guy who was there for just a little bit on the other side of the lake. And yeah, then Friday morning, me and one of the guys who I stayed in the cabin with, his name's Brennan Lockwood. He runs a guide service there in Chamberlain. We hit up Deerfield that morning, and that was a good time. We found some perch, we found some trout. We, kind of bounced all around on Deerfield. Good time. Friday night, we met up with our boys down at the Club for Boys. Like I said, played some games, whatever. Saturday morning, obviously was the actual event, and
And the Friday night, though, when you guys like meet the boy that you're going to be fishing with, it seemed like that's a pretty big event at the boys club.
definitely.
There. I mean, some of those games. I want to play carpet ball.
You know,
I was like, we
carpet
need to
ball.
get Eric to build one of those and put one out at his place or
We
something.
do. It was a hit. Lockwood said the same thing. Like, I'm building a carpet ball deal, and I mean, it was a hit. Those boys are freaking good. I mean, they are some hustlers at that game. They have all their different ways of setting up the balls, and
Yep.
different games. Ones that you got to bounce off, straight on, and it's like their own little language that they're talking out there.
Well,
And
they came up with it out there, right?
I
It
think
was kind of like made out there. The game
that could
it was
be.
because I thought I heard somebody talking about. Maybe Craig was talking about it on something I saw on Facebook that one of the old directors or somebody there was sick of the boys coming in there and like we all do. When there's a pool table there, you take the cue ball and you're throwing it around and just trying to hit the other balls instead of using a stick. And he was sick of them doing that with the pool table because it like ruins the felt and does all that stuff. So he's like, I got to do something, and it was loud, and so he built this big table that's down low and put carpet on the inside of it, and basically you just have a bunch of pool balls and you're trying to knock the
Yep.
other person's in to the trough on the other end.
Yeah, like I said, they've almost got their own language. There was Arrowhead, there was Eight Ball, there was like some random deal, and that's all how you set up the balls. And then there's straight on when you don't have to bank it. There's opposites when you have to bank it, and I mean those kids would just
That's to me as like a PE teacher, that's like the coolest thing ever. Is like when kids come up with their own game.
they're good at it.
Because
I'll tell you.
I mean, and that's the fun part about it. That makes that game a little bit more special to them because it's kind of a unique thing
Yeah,
just for that.
it's their deal.
game.
Yep.
So yeah, but I mean, you guys meet up with your kids there.
Yep, we had
There was
supper.
like dodgeball going on in some
Oh,
areas.
the dodgeball gets intense.
Yeah.
I played for a little while, and I was getting sweaty, and like, man, I haven't done this much physical activity for a while.
Didn't feel like making a trip to the Rapid City Hospital or anything
Nope.
like that. So.
No, my boy ended up getting hit in the face, and pretty soon I'm looking around like, where's Chelino? And he's off on the side, and God dang it. And so I went over there, and I thought, you know what, let's go do some other stuff. So yeah, they had hot chocolate, they had snacks, they had everything, and oh, it was just a blast. And to see all these kids interacting with these guys, and I mean, it was really awesome. And yeah, so Saturday, obviously the boys come out. You have lunch out there. They had chili soup. They were frying fish, all sorts of stuff. Afterwards, they had a pro tournament where all the pros could get together, and it was the biggest three perch and one rock bass. And I was doing pretty good. I had caught a couple perch. I let one perch go that I shouldn't have. And then I got on a rainbow trout bite, and I just really couldn't leave that
Can't
spot.
resist it,
And
could ya?
it was getting towards the end, and it was like, you know what, this just wasn't going to be for me to be entering fish. So I actually didn't enter any fish. That's fine. Some other guys didn't too, but they gave away a new Vexilar FLX 28, and it was really cool. A guy who used to be in the Club for Boys as he was growing up. I think his name was Jay Steele. He brought out a barbecue trailer.
I saw that.
Oh,
Made some ribs, and I know how much you like your ribs.
semi-professional rib
You-
eater, semi-professional frozen pizza eater.
You probably had a tear rolling
It
down your
was-
cheek when it came rolling out, and thought,
Oh, it was so good, Matt. I mean, he had brisket chili, he had ribs, he had chicken lollipops, he had pulled pork or pulled beef, shredded beef, whatever it was. And I mean, it was done to perfection. And yeah, he donated all of the food.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
there was 75, 80
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of
people out
people,
there
yeah.
eating, donated all the food. And Craig actually got him a brand new big clam shack, and he was really excited about that. And then his son, in 28th place, ended up taking home the Vexilar FLX 28. So that was a good run for them dudes, and it couldn't have happened to better people. That was really
You
cool
didn't
that they
try
got
to
it.
challenge any of the other pros in a rib eating contest. Be like, all right,
You guys are
fishing
fishermen.
aside,
I'm eating.
fishing aside, let's get into these ribs.
I should have done it. That would have been my time to shine out
Yeah,
there.
but yeah, they looked.
Yeah,
It
was
looked
good.
really good.
It was
and
very good.
That's pretty cool. That yeah, he did that.
Yep. And then yeah, obviously that was Saturday night. Sunday we had thought we were going to go home. Snowstorm came through, and the thing was, it was beautiful in the hills.
Yep.
I mean, it was a beautiful day, not much wind, and so a bunch
Here
of
we're
us
hunkered down
yeah.
and wind blowing like crazy.
Kayla told me, you know what, stay out there, and so the cabin let us stay another night. So we went out to Pactola and did a little lake trout fishing, and I got my first lake
First
trout.
Laker. First Laker.
I actually broke off on the first. I had one hit early on, and I broke off. The second
Probably
one,
state record.
yeah,
Yeah.
easily
Easy.
world record.
Yep.
It was big, I could tell you that.
Yep.
No, it was really weird. I mean, it came up. I watched it come up, and when it made contact with my jig on the Vexlar, I could tell that my line was getting tight, and so I let her rip, and it was just, I mean, just that fast. It was off. So I'm not really sure if I had a nick in my line or what. Right below my knot, so my knot was still actually on there, and I don't know. But yeah, then later on, I had another one come up, and I was yelling at McInthune that I was marking, and all of a sudden I could tell that my, you know, there was tension again, so I set the hook, and rod almost basically fell out of my hand and whatever, and I picked it back up, and it was gone. So at this point, I'm like, golly, like who gets two chances at a lake trout here and can't capitalize? And finally, on the third one, I got it. I was really in this neat little nook. Everyone around me was at like 62 foot of water, and I was at 71. So I marked it. So I'd really like to go back out there and see, if that's a little channel in there that they're traveling in or what. Because I had 3 marks. McInthune had 1, and I don't think anyone else marked anything. So I might have had a special little area there.
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, so finally came home on Monday. That's why you're getting episode 13 on
Later in the week.
late in the week, but I apologize for that. But yeah, I think if we would have come home, if I would tried to come home on Sunday, maybe we would have never got another episode.
It looked like there was a lot of people that stayed out there
Yep.
because it was, well, they shut down most of the interstate,
Yep.
I think, across the state.
Yep,
So,
Midwest Angler was really close to being Matt and Ramsey forever in
no,
Scotland.
that wouldn't have happened. It would have been the end of the Midwest Angler podcast right there. Otherwise,
Done.
I'd have had to try to figure this solo gig out.
Yep. No,
But so probably about the third most memorable weekend you've ever had out the Black Hills. I mean, obviously the first one is getting your wedding. Second one is probably getting engaged, and then this one, right?
yeah. To save my relationship with Kayla, this is third. This is third. No, it was it was a lot of fun. I'm really lucky I got to be a part of it. So
Yeah. So a huge shout out to Craig Euler for.
top notch guy, just
He is.
the absolute best in the business. Period.
I mean, he treated us great when we went out there fishing. I mean, just 4 guys that he could have been like, just go to Deerfield or something like
Yep.
that. But
And at the end of the day, I mean, even going into this weekend, I don't really know Craig that well. I mean, it's not much more than a Facebook message here and there and whatever, but
making small talk with him at the Ice Institute. And
yep. But golly, just spectacular guy. So yeah,
well, that
lucky.
was cool. That
Yep.
was good. If you don't know about that, definitely check out their stuff. They got a Facebook page, Hooked on Hardwater.
Yep. Club for boys, hooked on hard water. A lot of pictures are getting uploaded right now. It's definitely something worth checking out. They also were filming a TV show out there, Midwest Outdoors
Yep,
Television,
Midwest
I
Outdoors,
think.
Yep.
It'll be sometime next year. When that does come up, we'll post it to our page because I'll be in the background somewhere and I got to claim my couple seconds to fame there.
And you're not just doing the whole creepy like.
I don't know what to do with my hands. No. So,
Hey, what are you guys recording?
that's neat.
Well, that's pretty cool. But yeah, check that out. It's a great event. If you're interested, they're always looking for donations. Like
Yeah.
next year
Yep.
already.
You can sponsor a boy for $100, I believe, and it only goes up for there from there. If you $250 will get you, your name on some billboards and whatnot, and I think it goes all the way up to a couple thousand. But even $5 helps. A lot of these boys did not even have snow boots. They didn't have any winter clothes. If you've got extra snow boots, if you've got
Yeah.
extra winter clothes, they've got a big room with stuff in there that the kids can borrow. Yeah, if you've got extras, I'm sure that they would take them. It's a spectacular organization. Uh, really makes young boys into young men, and I mean, this is something. If you're in the giving mood, this is something you truly got to
Yeah.
give to. You really do because it's top notch. It costs the parents $12 a year to put their boy in the Club for Boys. It's an after school program, keeps kids out of trouble there in Rapid City. And it actually costs the club $1,500 a year
Wow.
to do everything. Everything
That's
else
crazy.
is off donations. I mean, the boys love it. I mean, they absolutely love the Club for Boys. I mean, you ask them and they think it's the best. So it's working. What they're doing out there is working.
Yep. So keep it up. The one thing about it too is the smiles. Out of all the pictures I've seen online, everybody's smiling. It is
Everyone.
just a
Yep.
wonderful event. It looked like you got decent weather, good weather Saturday for it. So
Yeah,
that's always
the
good.
weather wasn't spectacular the whole entire weekend. Besides that morning, it wasn't really windy. The sun shined. I think it got up to 30 degrees. Every other day, I think, was down closer to 15.
Yeah.
So, yep, I think they had the good weather because they knew it was such a good event.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's good. Well, speaking of weather, I'm around here. For our local area in northwest Iowa, it's been brutal.
pretty tough going.
It
Pretty
is.
tough going.
Snow. I think we're forecasted to get some more tomorrow morning, like a couple inches.
Did you know that the average temperature right now is supposed to be 35
Yeah, I
degrees?
saw something on that because we have so much snow, it's 20 degrees lower than what it normally is.
Really? That's
Yep.
what? Because
That's why
I
it's
mean,
colder
the
than what
the
it is.
sun actually has some power. I mean, when you're sitting outside and
Oh
it's
yeah,
sunny, I mean, the sun has some power, but the temperature just won't.
it won't
Go up.
because of all of the snow that's around.
Yep.
I was going to actually kind of see. I might call up President Trump and see if the government is going to relieve. They're talking about all these school days that people are missing and dismissing some of these school days. Well, I got about 10 to 15 pounds that I'd like to dismiss because of the polar vortex.
That's not a bad idea.
Could I get some of the? Can I
Yeah,
get a
you
little leeway?
packed on a little extra because you've been
Nothing
sitting at
to
home
do.
and
A dang polar vortex.
polar
you know.
vortex.
Uh,
I was thinking that maybe we would just build a wall at Nebraska and keep all that snow down there in Nebraska and
it
South
seems-
Dakota.
It
instead
seems
of-
like they've had more snow south of us this year than what we have.
Yeah, a lot of it's been coming like Nebraska up,
Yeah.
through our area and up into Minnesota and we're not getting into politics. That was just strictly a joke. If
We're not trying to
we're,
offend
we
anybody
don't
or
we
anything
don't
like
care
that.
what you believe in, whatever. Do your thing. This is fishing,
We
not
just believe
politics.
we just believe in that there wasn't. We wish it would be a little warmer and less
Yeah.
snow.
Yeah, that's one thing we can all get behind.
Yeah, I see that over at the lakes. It's really just tracked vehicle traffic, snowmobiles. If you got tracks on your four wheeler, I did see that on Spirit Lake. Somebody was nice enough to plow out a big
Yep.
path out onto the lake with a little turnaround cul-de-sac in there. Place for kind of like a little parking lot area too, so you can get out there and then go from there if you have to walk
Yep.
a distance.
And I think that's kind of what it's sounding like for all of, eastern South Dakota
Oh, it is that way.
is
Up
track
into
vehicles.
Minnesota.
Yep. And yep, up into Minnesota. They had the Eel Pout Festival up there, and it looked like that was a mess.
Yeah, a lot of slush.
A lot of slush, a lot of water up there, a
No.
lot of vehicles getting frozen down to the ground. And
Now we're not used to all this all the time with all this much snow and everything, but did you hear people say when they plow those paths, don't drill on the path?
okay.
Because I don't know if that causes the water to come up onto where they plowed the path, and that kind of creates all that slush.
That could be.
I mean, it would make sense, but
I
don't know,
suppose,
so-
yeah, what I'm thinking in my head is that there's so much weight on the ice because of the snow that, yeah, when you obviously drill a hole in a spot where there is no snow, otherwise that snow will kind of soak it up. It'll
Yep.
freeze there and it'll kind of hold it down. Whereas when there isn't anything there, I suppose it just gushes out. I heard that there was flat bottom boats out there to get people.
Really?
I
Well, I know like up on like Mille Lacs and Lake of the Woods, a lot of people got stranded this weekend
Yeah,
because of that storm
snowed
that
in
blew.
and yeah.
We
I
had a
saw.
situation like that the one time that I've been ice fishing up at Lake of the Woods. Our last night there, a blizzard came in and blew everything shut. And the next day we had to wait for them to come out with the plow. I mean, when you drive out there, a new thing for us is, I mean, they got like, it's literally like a 4-lane road plowed. When we left and went back out, it was like one lane. They had just came through with the plow, so we were able to get off the lake. But yeah, it's crazy how that can happen up there.
Yeah, I've never been on a lake that needed any sort of plowing, and so, most of the time, especially down here, a four-wheeler is more than
Yep.
suffice, and yeah, I guess it's not now. So
And we're kind of we're the type of people that we rarely drive our vehicle out onto the lake.
right, I I have.
So have I, but it's just
I don't know. It still doesn't make me comfortable. I'll never forget last year. We had a four-wheeler that wouldn't start out on Lake Ponset,
yeah,
and we were walking back, and some guy from northern Minnesota, hey, you guys need a ride? Yeah, sure. And we got in there, and he had like an F-250 or F-350 diesel, and he's trucking at 60 miles an hour
yeah.
across
That's
the ice
just
there. He was
yeah.
from up by Bemidji. I don't think I scared him at all, not one bit. Yeah, but
Other bad thing that I'm seeing with all the snow on the lakes now in southwest Minnesota, they're starting to say the oxygen levels on a lot of those lakes are getting very scary low, and they're talking a lot of winter kill now. So
yep,
that's
I
kind of
saw
a
that. I saw that Whitewood up there by Lake Preston. Bad news up
yeah.
there. I know that there's been some discussion on turning the aerators on Clear Lake here in Iowa, north central Iowa, and I don't believe that they've done it, but they've actually done a study and found that the oxygen level is getting to that spot where fish can be harmed. So I guess I'm not really sure what the holdup is there. I'm not going to argue with a fish biologist.
Oh
I mean,
no.
they obviously know what they're doing, but I had heard a rumor that last weekend or maybe even 2 weekends ago, they've got a big kite festival where everyone goes out on the ice and flies kites.
Okay.
And, whatever, that's cool. They're entitled to the lake also. But I heard that they didn't want to turn those aerators on because that was, potentially going to limit spots for the kite festival. But the kite festival's done now. So if the aerator is going to help these fish, they need to do it because Clear Lake has really developed into one heck of a fishery
Oh
in the
yeah.
last couple of years.
It really has.
I mean, they got nice walleye, they've got great crappie. The yellow bass bite there is second to none.
Yeah.
That would really be a shame.
And the reason why, with the snow on there, when you get that much snow on the ice, well, the sunlight can't get through now, and your weeds don't get any oxygen.
yep, there's no photosynthesis
This is going
underneath
on.
underneath the ice, and
So they're not creating oxygen. They don't get oxygen, but you know what I mean.
yep,
So they're not putting oxygen into the water. So in turn, yeah,
now,
not
if
good
they
for
would
the
go
fish.
out there and clear a bunch of paths and whatnot,
I
does
don't know
that
how
let
that works.
enough light through?
I don't know. That'd be a question you have to ask Scott McIntoon,
That will be a question
and
that I
he would
ask.
know it right away.
He would for sure.
So yeah, I don't know. I saw somewhere too that there's a couple lakes up there that people were like, well, why isn't the aerator running? And they said, well, they never turned it on this year, and now they wouldn't be able to turn it on.
Yeah, I heard
Get
that it was
to
too
work.
late. The damage was done or something like that. That's one of the things that I heard over there on Clear Lake. So yeah, I don't know. That's not my
Yeah.
field, but
Well,
boy, you
hopefully there's not a lot of lakes in this area or anywhere come this spring when they thaw out and you get a bad fish kill, and that's no fun to walk around and see all these fish washed up on the shore.
well
And,
that, and I mean, you think about a place like Clear Lake Bait and Tackle.
oh yeah,
I mean, if their lake gets killed off, that's two guys' livelihoods. I mean, you know, I mean, all these bait shops and all these spots, all the way across Minnesota and South Dakota, you start taking away some of those lakes, and that hurts the bait shops, that hurts the hotels, that hurts the restaurants, that hurts
everything.
the gas stations.
Yep.
I mean, all the way across the board, that is a big hit to the economy. And because, I mean, make no mistake about it, you get up there by Lake Poncet and you get up there by Waubay and, up into northern Minnesota and whatnot. That's that. I mean, that's that area's thing.
That's
Everyone's
their
got their
livelihood.
thing, and
Well, that's why when they started doing the non-meandering and the meandering waters thing up there, there was a lot of them little small town gas stations that
would have shriveled up.
Yeah.
They would have.
So
Yep.
hopefully it turns around. Hopefully we can start getting some warmer weather, but we're going to be ice fishing for a while yet.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it.
No doubt.
We put that poll up on our Facebook page yesterday. You did about who's ready for who wants to keep ice fishing and who wants to keep summer fishing. I don't know what's in the lead right now.
I think it's at 22 votes right now, and summertime fishing is winning. I think it's 13-9, but it's good to see some solid guys. Craig Euler, Chad Lorith, they're with me with the ice fishing.
What are you talking about? The other day I got this text message that says, I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of. I could go for some open water pretty soon.
Yeah, but now I haven't fished for like 3 or 4 days, so now I'm ready to rock again. Nope.
It got up to 18 degrees here today, so it felt like, whew, it's kind of hot.
If you went outside, it was like, man, this is a nice day.
The kids actually got outdoor recess at school today instead of keep being indoors.
Yeah. One other thing I was going to say, I actually talked to Lance Vanderweerd tonight. Brand new bait machine, Rock Valley, Iowa.
Rock Valley, that was the big reveal.
That was the big reveal.
So now they have 3 locations.
3 locations and possibly 2 more on the way, is what Lance told me.
And they have chubs now in there.
They've got chubs. They've got
kind of
minnows.
They're experimenting with the chubs. There's about 3 in a bag that I see, something like that.
That could be.
But the thing is, too, is if you ever want more chubs or need more, or even minnows, you want to get a whole bunch instead of buying a bunch of individual bags. If you get a hold of Lance Vanderweerd at L&L Bait and Tackle, or Bait and Tackle, is it L&L Bait?
L&L Bait and Tackle, Lance and Luke Stubbe, Lance
get a hold of one of
Vanderweerd.
those two.
Yep.
They got a Facebook page. Message those guys, and I think they have one of their houses. They have the bait tank at.
Yep. In Lance's garage, they've got a heck of a cool setup. I've been over there, and they really got it set up really nice, temperature controlled. They've got the whole filter system. It's pretty top-notch deal. One of the other things that Lance, when I talked to him, he said that he really wants to stress the fact that they will give you your money back. Like if you happen to open up a thing of minnows and they're dead, they'll give you your money back. Get a hold of them, whatever. These bags that they have and the type of water that they're putting in there will keep these minnows alive for a long time. But with anything that's alive, things die. Obviously, if you open up a bag and you've got 1 dead minnow, don't be calling them. You open up a bag and all your minnows are dead, give them a call. They're going to make it right with you. They're
easy to work with, good guys.
Yep, they're both top-notch. Go like their stuff. Go like their Facebook page. If you're in here,
you don't hear many bait shops going out onto a lake and handing out free bait.
That's right.
They did that at Lake Pahoja. We talked about that before. I talked a little bit to Lance about it this weekend, and because there's a lot of guys that fish at Lake Pahoja that don't realize that bait machine is there on the south side of the entry, office right there.
Lance told me that they put up a big sign there right by the entry stand or whatever you want to call it. And so, yeah, if you're out there, take a look at it. And
if you forgot bait or if you're run out of it while you're there, run up to the bait machine, which is awesome. It's nice to have that there.
Oh, convenience is great. And we're not and they're not taking a jab at the actual brick and mortar bait shops.
No,
but guys, we live in a small area where a brick and mortar bait shop can't make it work.
It's tough in this spot. There is no lakes.
Klein's Corner did it, but they were a wholesaler. They had their deal out in front, but their money was made doing the wholesale. here in our area, it doesn't work. This is bait machine area. You know, when you're over at Okoboji, buy from the bait shops over there. When you're up in South Dakota, buy from the bait shops up there. But when you're in our area and you're not going very far, buy from these guys.
Yep, for sure. Definitely. Check those guys out.
Yep. I don't know. You got anything else, or is that kind of running low for episode 13?
Other than that, I mean, there wasn't any couple weeks until the Bassmaster Classic, so there's not much to talk about with fantasy fishing. Start looking there.
Yep. We both talked to some potential guests here in the next couple weeks. I think that those will be killer cool shows.
We got some cool
if we can
guests coming up here pretty soon.
Yep. So
from all facets of the fishing industry.
Yep.
It's getting pretty excited. We're getting pretty excited about this thing to get it growing, keep it growing, keep it going where we want it to go. You know, we get asked that a lot of times. Like, what do you guys like? What's this podcast about? You know, what are you guys doing this podcast? What's your goals for it? What's your end game? It's just like we want to talk fishing and talk to people that it is a passion. It's a passion of ours. We want to get passionate people that are passionate about fishing in here, and just share their stories, share their knowledge with other people, and just keep going with it.
Yep. We would have these exact same conversations, me
Without
and
the
you,
microphones.
driving back and forth to Okoboji, driving back and forth to fish wherever we're fishing.
We had them just a little bit ago before we got on here and started talking.
So it was just kind of a deal like, you know what? Let's record it. Let's put it out there for other people to listen to. And yeah, hopefully we get to go fishing. We get to sit down and talk with some people that we otherwise wouldn't get to. And that's, I guess, to me, that's what it's all about.
That's what it is all about.
The goal is there really is no goal. We're just here to talk fishing. We're just two guys that like to fish.
So don't forget, though, to go to our Facebook page, be entered into the 13 fishing combo for our 13th episode here. Like Scott said, next week we're going to be drawing the winner for it. And like I said, this is a nice little. I use this one a lot.
Yeah, I think you and Ramsey don't both have.
No, just me.
Yeah, just Matt. Matt.
Ramsey doesn't have. I don't know. I think Ramsey uses a toothpick.
No. So yeah, photo, comment, your favorite outdoor picture. That's all that's all you got to do. Drop underneath. Be liking the page. Like the post.
Go to our website.
Go to YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. All that stuff helps us out.
Or touch it. Just make sure you push it.
Yeah,
whatever you gotta
we
do.
We don't care what you do.
Don't run your computer over it or your phone. So yeah. Other than that, get out there and enjoy this coming up weekend.
You bet. See ya.